Okay, so you may be wondering, you have frames, which are really important. Then you have groups, and they may seem really similar. So if I take two items here, I'm going to hold down Shift and do it. I'm just going to press Control G on Windows. So I'm just going to create a group. You can also select whether you want that to be a frame up here. You can toggle between the two. Now there's a couple of different use cases for groups versus frames. Frames are really great for, a lot of things. I personally like to use groups for shapes, whether that's like a logo, because when you do select a group and you scale it, all the content basically retains that like dimension of the group. So it's going to shrink within every single way. It's going to scale with it. And that's really helpful for things like logos or little elements that you have on the screen. So that's really helpful for that. Now, if I were to do that with a frame, you're going to notice that this is different. See, the frame acts like a box, and you can have the same desired effect that a group has with a frame, but it's going to basically be a little bit harder. You're going to have to select the items within and adjust their constraints accordingly. So over here, I have the box, and I'm going to have to set it to maybe left and right and top and bottom. That means that when the frame moves left and right, it's going to move with it. So let's look at the difference between this one versus this one. So I'm going to make this one red, so it's just easier to know which one has the constraint set. So this one has the constraint set, the blue one, and I'm just going to move it around. You see how that kind of takes on the same type of movement as the larger frame, whereas the red one is just kind of sticking there because right now it's set to left and top. So if I were to move the left side or the top, it's going to stick. So groups are really great for basically when you want to retain like the size of the larger group that those items are a part of. So I like using them for shapes and things like logos and those types of vectors. Now, if I want to ungroup, that's really easy. You just press a Shift Command G, basically the same thing as ungrouping a frame. And for Windows, that is Shift Control G. So Command G or Control G, Shift Command G, Shift Control G. And that is how you create and remove groups.